So hello, I'm Jody Colegrove with Quantum Techniques. We have developed a proven technique to quickly determine the root cause of your health issue using a form of energy medicine. I work with people all over the world on the phone, helping them discover why they're having a health issue and what they can do to fix it. So today I wanted to talk about menopause because as we get to that age, it starts creeping up on us. So I thought I'd share some of the things that I have learned. So when you're going through menopause, what it is you're having a hormonal change in the body. The amount of estrogen and progesterone are declining, or they get erratic. Okay, and so this was what causes the hot flashes and the night sweats and the anxiety, and it can also create issues in the brain. So the hippocampus is the awareness of, it's a kind of organ that knows whether the awareness of the body and what's going on. And it helps with clear thinking and memories. It's one of the things that goes out when you do have Alzheimer's. It releases estrogen and progesterone. And if it decreases the balance that it's had, then a lot of times you'll get brain fog, slow reactions to things, and memory issues. Menopause can also affect the neurotransmitters, and those are the mood regulators that we have in our body. I believe I know a lot about those. But anyway, it can help with serotonin, dopamine, GABA, and if those levels of those fluctuate, and that's what can, if they don't have good balance, then they can add to anxiety and panic. So I found an article that I thought really explained that, so I wanted to read it. So it says the progesterone promotes GABA production. So the progesterone levels run low, so do GABA levels. So since GABA helps you stay calm and focused, decreased levels leave you panicky and anxiety. So estrogen is involved with the production of serotonin, the feel-good transmitter, and dopamine, which is the brain chemical linked to pleasure and reward. So if you have low levels of estrogen, can lead to the production of serotonin and dopamine, which can have a negative impact on your mood. So I think that's kind of why we're seeing that there's this fluctuation. So you get a lot of in-between stuff, and sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. And I remember working in a real estate office when he realized that all of his workers were going to go into, all the women were going to go into menopause at the same time. And he's like, oh, this might not be worked out so well. So what can you do? Well, at Quantum Techniques, we can muscle test to find out if your levels are appropriate, and to find out if we need to increase one or decrease another, and what like herbs and creams and things that would be helpful for that. We can also test the neurotransmitters to see if they're out or if there's something blocking it. And a lot of times that is what we find, is there's something that has impacted you, whether it's a chemical, a toxin in your body that has allowed the neurotransmitters or the hormones to be off kilter. So we can clear that and help the transition into menopause easier, okay? I also found that night sweats a lot of times are involved with pathogens like viruses and bacteria that are impacting your hormonal field. And so we can test for those and clear those so that you don't have those night sweats. But there's things that you can do also. And so those are things like diet. It's really important to have a good balance between proteins, fats, vegetables, and fruits, because those all help with omega-3 and vitamin B, which is really helping to keep that balance. Exercise. So important to do something that you really love, because then you'll want to do it and you'll do it more often. And also lifting weights, really helps you be able to maintain your body mass and your bone density, and the things you need to do really help everything function well in your body. Also, relaxation techniques are really important. So those are things like deep breathing, yoga, stretching, listening to music. In the last couple of years, we've found this book to be helpful, which is Peter Egescu and Pain Free. I know it's all reversed on the thing, but he has a lot of exercises and moves to do to really help the whole way that your body is balanced side to side and functioning well to be really helpful. And I have found it helpful too. There's also stress relieving herbs that you can take that are helpful. And those are things like ashwagandha and rhodiola. So those are just some things that you could do to try to help the balance with neurotransmitters and progesterone, estrogen, be in balance, so that going through menopause is not this big, huge thing. It's more of a calm thing. And one thing I didn't actually even write down is just the hormonal part of it, or the emotional part of it, I should say. So in other words, we sometimes have a legacy from what our parents have gone through to what we've gone through. And so we can, if it's a good experience, then we can, kind of transition well. If it's been something that's been traumatic, there may be some things that we can work on clearing so that you don't kind of live out the same thing that maybe your mom has. So that's important to be aware of and to clear any traumas, issues, things that have been stuck generationally with menopause. So that's important too. So glad I remembered that at the end. So visit our website at quantumtechniques.com, and it explains more about energy medicine and how it can help you. You can request a session request, which is a 60 minutes one-on-one to really kind of say, hey, what are you dealing with and what do we need to look at? And it helps get to the root cause of what your health concern is and start beginning to see what you can do to help solve that. So subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you can learn more about different health issues that we work with our kind of technique that we do with Quantum Techniques. So I look forward to working with you. Blessings.